Zara Reynolds clutched her coffee cup tighter as she stepped through the gleaming glass doors of Hartwell's, the most prestigious department store in the city. The marble floors gleamed under chandelier light, and the scent of expensive perfume hung in the air. At 28, with her journalism degree fresh in hand, Zara had an eye for details that others missed. "Can I help you?" asked a sales associate with a plastic smile, eyes darting to Zara's simple outfit. "Just browsing, thanks," Zara replied, noticing how the same associate had warmly greeted the white customers before her. She moved toward the designer handbag section, her phone buzzing with a new assignment from her editor. That's when she noticed him, a well-dressed black man in his 30s examining a leather wallet. Marcus Taylor, according to the name badge on his suit, was clearly a professional on his lunch break. Two security guards appeared from nowhere, positioning themselves conspicuously behind Marcus. Zara frowned, watching as they followed his every move while completely ignoring the white shoppers handling merchandise throughout the store. "Sir, can we see what you've put in your pocket?" one guard demanded loudly enough for nearby shoppers to turn and stare. Marcus's face registered shock, then the resigned expression of someone who had experienced this before. "Excuse me? I haven't put anything in my pocket." Zara's journalistic instincts kicked in. Quietly, she raised her phone and pressed record. "I need you to empty your pockets, sir," the taller guard insisted, his hand hovering near his radio. The second guard blocked Marcus's path to the exit. "This is ridiculous. I'm a bank executive. I was looking at a wallet for my brother's birthday," Marcus protested, his voice measured despite the humiliation burning in his eyes. The store manager, a thin woman with a severe bun named Patricia Winters, approached. "Is there a problem here?" "They're accusing me of shoplifting without cause," Marcus explained, his composure remarkable under pressure. Zara stepped forward, her phone still recording. "I've been watching this entire time. This gentleman hasn't put anything in his pockets." Patricia glared at Zara. "This doesn't concern you, miss. It concerns everyone when someone is profiled because of their race," Zara replied firmly. Several customers had stopped to watch, some with uncomfortable expressions, others nodding in agreement. The guards began patting Marcus down despite his verbal objections. Finding nothing, they backed away without apology. Patricia muttered something about store policy. Before hurrying away, Marcus straightened his jacket. "Thank you," he said to Zara quietly. "I got it all on video," she responded, stopping the recording. "This isn't right." That evening, after getting Marcus's permission and contact information, Zara posted the video to her social media accounts with the caption, "Racial profiling at Hartwell's department store. Watch how this black professional is treated while shopping for a gift." #shopping while black #HartwellsTruth. By morning, the video had 2.7 million views, 50,000 shares, and was trending nationwide. Zara's phone wouldn't stop buzzing with notifications, including one from her editor. "Come in ASAP. This is your story now." News vans lined the street outside Hartwell's by noon. Major networks ran the clip on repeat. Social media exploded with hashtags, #boycott Hartwell's, #shopping while black, and #justice for Marcus dominated trending lists. Hartwell's PR team scrambled. By afternoon, they issued a statement. "Hartwell's has proudly served this diverse community for 60 years. The video circulating online shows an isolated incident that does not represent our values. We take these allegations seriously and are investigating internally." Marcus appeared on a morning show, composed and articulate. "This wasn't my first experience with profiling, but I'm speaking out because silence enables injustice." Meanwhile, former employees and customers came forward. "This happened to me too," became a common refrain as dozens shared similar experiences at Hartwell's. Zara's inbox flooded with testimonials. One from a former security guard contained explosive information. "We were instructed to follow Black and Latino customers closely, especially in high-end departments." The CEO of Hartwell's, Benjamin Porter, held a press conference denying systemic issues. Our security team followed standard loss prevention protocols based on observed behaviors, not racial factors. The video doesn't show the complete context. Zara watched his statement from her desk, noting how he avoided addressing the growing pile of testimonials. Her phone rang. Marcus Taylor. "They're lying," he said simply. "And I have proof." Zara met Marcus at a quiet cafe 3 blocks from Hartwell's. He slid a folder across the table. "My cousin Darnell worked security there for 8 months last year," Marcus explained. "He quit because of what they were asking guards to do. He kept documentation. Inside were copies of internal memos with highlighted sections: pay special attention to demographic B and C customers in luxury departments, and Code 2 monitoring for profile-matched individuals." Demographic B and C? Zara questioned, her journalist's mind racing. "Company code for Black and Latino shoppers," Marcus said. Darnell confirmed it. Zara's editor, Nora Chen, approved a full investigation. Over the next 3 days, Zara conducted 17 interviews with former employees who corroborated the coded discrimination policy. "We had to follow more black customers or risk getting reprimanded for not being proactive enough," explained former security guard Thomas Reed. "They tracked our stops by race, though they never called it that." A former HR assistant, Kira Washington, provided employee complaint records. These were buried. 27 discrimination complaints in 2 years, all dismissed as unsubstantiated. Zara also discovered Hartwell's had settled 3 previous discrimination lawsuits quietly with non-disclosure agreements. The breakthrough came when she located Patricia Winter's former assistant, Devin Lee. "I recorded a meeting where Patricia explicitly told security to keep extra eyes on certain demographics," Devin said nervously. "I knew it was wrong, but I needed that job. When I finally complained to HR, I was let go for performance issues 2 weeks later." He handed Zara an audio file. Her hands trembled as she listened to Patricia's voice clearly instructing security staff to profile customers based on race. "This breaks the case wide open," Zara told Marcus that evening, her voice tight with emotion. "But Hartwell's will fight back hard. Are you prepared for that?" Marcus nodded firmly. "What they did wasn't just wrong, it was illegal. They need to be held accountable." "We'll need community support," Zara said thoughtfully. "And I know exactly how to get it." Zara partnered with local civil rights organization Justice Now, led by the charismatic Vanessa Okafor. They organized a community meeting at the Eastside Community Center. The turnout exceeded expectations. Over 200 people packed the hall, people of all races united against discrimination. Marcus shared his story, his voice steady and determined. Others followed, their experiences painting a disturbing pattern. "This isn't just about one incident," Vanessa addressed the crowd. "This is about the dignity of being able to shop without suspicion. About not having to be perfect, dressed perfectly, behaving perfectly just to be treated with basic respect." The crowd erupted in applause. Zara presented the evidence she'd gathered. Hartwell's has a documented history of racial profiling that goes beyond a few bad employees. It's institutionalized in their policies. They planned a Saturday protest outside Hartwell's main entrance during peak shopping hours. Zara's news outlet agreed to live stream it. When Saturday arrived, the crowd swelled to nearly 1,000 people. They carried signs reading, "Shop without suspicion, racism is bad business," and "Justice for all customers." Marcus stood at the front, dignified in the same suit he'd worn that day in the store. News helicopters circled overhead. Social media coverage exploded as celebrities and influencers shared the live stream. Inside Hartwell's, employees watched nervously as customers dwindled. Some staff even removed their name badges and joined the protest during their breaks. Vanessa led chants through a megaphone: "No justice, no profit. No justice, no profit." The store's security guards looked uncomfortable behind the glass doors as protesters held up printed screenshots from Zara's video directly in front of security cameras. Benjamin Porter, Hartwell's CEO, watching from his office window, frantically called an emergency board meeting. On Monday morning, Zara published her full investigative article with all evidence documented. It crashed her newspaper's website within hours from traffic volume. By afternoon, Hartwell's stock had dropped 12%. Benjamin Porter requested a meeting with Marcus, Zara, and Vanessa. They agreed but insisted it happen publicly in the store's atrium, under the crystal chandelier where it all began. Porter faced the trio, flanked by nervous executives and lawyers. News cameras captured every moment. "We've reviewed your evidence," Porter began stiffly. "While we don't agree with all characterizations..." "Stop," Marcus interrupted firmly. "No more corporate speak. People were humiliated in your store because of their race. I was one of them. Either acknowledge that truth or we walk right now." A tense silence followed. Porter glanced at his lawyer, who nodded slightly. "You're right," Porter finally admitted, his shoulders slumping. "Our policies, while not explicitly racist in writing, were discriminatory in practice. On behalf of Hartwell's, I apologize unreservedly." Vanessa stepped forward. "Apologies are just words. We need concrete changes." "We're prepared to offer that," Porter replied, handing them a document. "A complete overhaul of security protocols. Mandatory anti-bias training. A diverse community oversight committee with real power. And a $2 million fund for racial justice initiatives." "And Patricia Winters?" Zara asked pointedly. "No longer with the company, effective immediately," Porter confirmed. Marcus studied the document carefully. "This is a start, but implementation is everything. The committee needs teeth." They negotiated for another hour, strengthening accountability measures. When they finally shook hands, the atrium erupted in applause from watching customers and staff. Outside, as cameras flashed, Marcus addressed reporters. "Today shows the power of truth, especially when documented and shared. One video exposed what many experienced for years. Change came because people united for justice." Zara watched from nearby, her phone in hand, not recording this time, but present as a reminder of how it started. That evening, the hashtag Hartwell's accountable trended nationwide. Zara received a message from a retail worker at another store. "We have the same problem here. Can you help?" She smiled, already planning her next story. The work continued.